An increasing hazard. Poverty area, slum neighborhoods are the most vulnerable. Brownsville, Bushwick, Sunset Park, and the East New York sections of Brooklyn have been ravaged by fire, along with the West and South Bronx. This series, Fire, Hell on Earth, is about the men whose job it is to fight those fires in the city that has the most fires in the world, New York. There were more than 120,000 fires in New York City last year. 272 civilians and 7 firemen died. There are few things that strike more panic in man than the destructive force of fire. It belongs to the devil. Escape from the flames, the heat, the killing smoke has caused the bravest of men to lose all rational behavior and run. Or like in the tragic fire at Sao Paulo, Brazil in 1974, where more than 180 people died in the flames of a 25-story high-rise to leap to their own deaths trying to escape. In August of 1978, 6 New York City firemen died in Brooklyn when the roof of the Waldbaum supermarket collapsed, a tragic event. It was the worst accident involving the city's firefighters in a dozen years. Accidental fires and arson fires killing and destroying lives and property. The American Insurance Association estimates that last year's total price tag in the United States for arson fires was between $10 and $15 billion. Arson is a barometer of urban decay. Nowhere urban decay and blight more apparent than in the South Bronx. The home of Ladder 33 and Engine 75 of the 19th Battalion. In the shadow of the Jerome Avenue L, this is the busiest firehouse in the world. During 1977 and 78, the men of Ladder 33 and Engine 75 answered more than 39,000 alarms. It's been nicknamed the Animal House. For a week, Eyewitness News lived with the men of Ladder 33 and Engine 75, eating with the men, understanding the fellowship between firefighters who so depend on one another for survival. It is a firehouse so busy that you learn to eat fast. That is, if and when you even get the chance.
Well, this makes a lot of comradeship between the men. This is one of the few jobs where you sit down, all ranks, and sit down and eat together. And everybody depends on each other. And it starts right here in the kitchen of the firehouse.
Alarm after alarm on this night. Abandoned buildings fires. Most suspicious.
All right, now, this is suspicious.
Yes, I made it suspicious. In all probability, it's a malicious mischief.
You mean like the
children
kids?
Playing in there. There was a couch burning, and that communicated to the wall.
All right, all of you kids who are playing around here, do you know who started this fire?
What?
You know who started this fire?
No, it's over there, down there.
Then the false alarms. 60% of Engine Company 75 responses are for false alarms. Time-consuming and dangerous false alarms that oftentimes takes Ladder 33 and Engine 75 off on a wild goose chase while another real fire has started. The plague of the South Bronx, arson. Arson for revenge. What is called the burn for hate phenomenon.
Now, you've been in the Bronx for many years. You've seen it change, haven't you?
Yes, I have. Past 18 years burned down. I've lived here all my life.
And it's being burned down.
It's being burned down, building by building, block by block. And the South Bronx now goes to Fordham Road. It used to be 149th Street. And it's already up to Fordham Road. And even Riverdale's in jeopardy.
While Ladder 33 and Engine 75 are off on what turns out to be another false alarm, Chief Jim Slevin is ordered to leave his men and respond to the Mott Haven yards, where a dangerous fire has erupted in a chemical storage building. The fire quickly goes to a second alarm. Chief Slevin, an expert at fighting chemical fires.
Everybody has to get off of here now. We're dealing with a chemical here. It's been used in incendiaries. And it's a very toxic smoke. If the wind changes, it'll be coming in our direction, and we'll be suffering.
What about the men over there fighting the fire, though, in the pot? Will they have to move out?
The men are staying out of the smoke as best as they can, and they're extinguishing the fire with this fire ladder stream. One of the hazards of the job.
One of the
hazards of the job. They got us. That's incredible. Okay. There are times like these, though, you think about.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It's always something. It's always something. Down here, anyway, in the South Bronx. Always something.
Any cuts in fire department manpower, and this the capital of fires, New York City, according to experts in the field, threatens the safety and the ability of the fire department to save lives. Tomorrow, with the men of Engine 75 and Ladder 33, a life and death struggle. Roger.
Now to the kind of disaster that is dreadfully common in New York City, the disaster called fire. John Johnson again with part 2 of his special report, Fire, a Hell on Earth. And tonight, John takes a look at the men and women who fight those fires. John?
Thank you, Bill. In the more than 120,000 fires in the world capital of fires, New York City, more than 11,000 firemen were injured fighting those fires last year, many suffering severe burns and total incapacity to ever work again. It's almost a daily occurrence in the South Bronx that firemen are injured.
Responder box 2989, West Tremont and Montgomery Avenue.
There are on an average 300 fires a day in New York City. The firefighters of Engine 75 and Ladder 33 of the South Bronx respond to 22 calls a day and 148 a week. While there has been a downward trend in the total amount and severity of fires in New York City in the last 2 years, fire remains the plague of areas like the South Bronx. Tenement buildings housing scores of people are old, their boilers and incinerators dilapidated, resulting in dangerous smoke conditions inside the buildings. A large part of the firefighters' job, keeping people from panic.
This is one of our major problems. We find people all over the fire escapes and actually find people jumping off the first floor landing, and there's no need for this. We tell them, we try to calm them down as best we can, but we can only reach maybe 10 people at a time, and we have to go in an orderly fashion.
Do you want any medical attention? Do you have asthma or anything?
I get asthma, I'll be all
I'll give
right.
you any oxygen if you have asthma.
Once calming residents of smoke-filled tenements, it is the fire chief who will get on a superintendent for having boilers and incinerators that don't work properly.
Okay, don't start it up until it's
Guys, sometimes conmigo in the night, sometimes conmigo in the morning, you know.
Okay, but don't start it up again.
Yeah.
We've shut it down until the fan comes from the oil burner company, and we want an affidavit stating that this has been repaired.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you an order on that now.
What about the dog back there?
Yeah.
Let the dog out of there?
Take the dog out of there so he doesn't take all this smoke.
Yeah, hold on.
Take him outside now. Let us get out of here. And then...
Living with firemen, you soon get to know that their job requires a lot more than putting out fires. Diplomacy, a medical degree, and knowledge of wiring, electronics, explosives, and chemicals could serve the average firefighter well. One of the reasons that today's fireman is more educated than his predecessor. The men of Ladder 33 and Engine 75, like their counterparts at other firehouses around the city, all have high school educations, with a majority having at least 1 year of college and a number having their college degrees. It is a demanding job, where the risks are high, but where the rewards and the saving of human life even higher.
Is this suspicious? Yeah, we make it suspicious.
Is this suspicious?
Yes, right.
Vacant building?
Right.
Right.
Yes.
What do you think? The kids are in here? Or
Possibly. It could be many reasons.
All right.
It's a large volume of fire we got here. A vacant building, we make it suspicious. A matter of course.
This problem that these men are up against, once again, a vacant building, it's suspicious, probably kids or somebody else setting fires. All these men have to risk their lives, however, to put it out.
Hey, call the ambulance, man. Man, what's up?
While returning to the firehouse from an abandoned building fire, the men of Engine Company 75 are thrown into the midst of a life and death drama. Just outside the firehouse, a terrible accident. 3 men driving a van have rammed one of the pillars of the Jerome Avenue L. 2 of the men are trapped inside the vehicle. All are seriously injured. Firsthand, I watched as the firefighters of Engine 75 and Ladder 33 fought to free the men, fought to save their lives.
He's got it right in the middle of his forehead.
Don't say that. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Let's stay there. Don't move them.
Get the fireman now. Bernie, get the fireman, Bernie.
All right, we got one more on the other side. Looks bad.
You got it right
right down the middle of the head.
Yeah, get the hearse tool.
All right.
We need a hearse tool. You got it? Yeah. Who's look? Hey, this guy. His leg's a pin. How about the other guy?
For more than 30 minutes, the life and death struggle went on until finally the men were freed. Miraculously, their lives saved by firemen. Firemen who are asked every day to help all of us. While firemen saved untold numbers of lives, the average fireman lives only 8 years after retirement, and 50% of retired firemen are disabled.